Alright, for today's little adventure, we're going to take the truck, the trailer, and the tractor on a field trip. We're actually going to a Mahindra dealer to buy a tiller for the tractor. They only got 2 left, and like anything else, they got an order in for the spring to get more, but who knows if they're going to get them or not. They're unsure at the moment. So after surgery on my hand and my elbow, I really don't want to do it by hand anymore. So we're going to jump in the truck, take this thing over there, make sure it all fits, and hopefully come home with it. We'll see you when we get back. Alright, we done picked it up. Tiller for the tractor. Of course, the drive shaft right there, I got to cut that to make it fit. It's too long, but this should make things a lot easier. 4-foot tiller. The back of the tractor should make gardening a whole lot easier. We got this guy too. That guy just kind of hangs there, but definitely a game changer. Definitely make this a little bit easier. Everything's all on the controls. So all I got to do now is pull a lever and push a button and till the garden with this beast. Definitely going to make things a lot easier. So we'll probably do a review on this when we actually, go out there and till, but this is pretty much it. So hopefully this thing works good and doesn't give me any grief and makes my life a whole lot easier than doing this by hand. So we'll see what happens. We'll get back to you and probably do, like I said, do a review when we get the drive shaft down here and try it out. But the interesting part now is with this thing on, I got to see if it's going to fit in there. It might be too long. We'll see what happens. Alright. This is kind of the review of what we got here. We got a Titan 49-inch tiller. You can see the tines down there. Goes on the back of the tractor here. Let me put this let's put this down. Alright, that's going to go right there. So we're going to go ahead and see how this thing works, but on the side of the chain case there, you got to make sure you got 140 weight oil. And then there's a few different grease fittings. There's one there. There's 2 underneath here on the shaft. And then of course you got to grease the U-joints in there. You got to add grease into this box. And then I had to cut the drive shaft here. Drive shaft was like way too long, but important thing about that is you have to make sure that it's cut the correct length. If it's too long, when you go to raise this up, you're going to crash, you're going to bottom out the drive shaft, crash it into the PTO on the tractor and cause a lot of damage. Or you'll mess up the tiller. So that got cut, greased, put on, all that stuff, and you also need to make sure before you cut that your tiller is sitting level. If it's leaning forward or backward, it's going to affect how long the drive shaft will need to be. So it's important that's got to be level to do that. And they had this canister here that had the owner's manual and stuff in it, but that's inside. I'm not leaving it outside. I'll probably still end up getting wet in there, but we are going to fire this thing up and we're going to see how well of a job it does. Like I said, it's a 49-inch tiller. This is the gear, or not the gear driven, this is the chain driven model. There's a chain case right there. That's I got another one that has gears, but it's like $200 more for some reason, and I really don't feel the need for the gears, honestly. I mean, the chain has more pressure on every tooth of the sprocket, as opposed to the gear, there's only pressure on 2 or 3 teeth. So I opted to go with the chain model. So we got it hooked to the old Cub Cadet here with the PTO in the back and all that good stuff. So we're going to pull this thing outside. We're going to see how well it does. this up and we're gonna plant some garlic. So.
A little late. Better late than never.
Better late than never. Let me straighten out a little. Lots of tree roots in here.
Yeah, that thing was dancing all over the place.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, it's not
Yeah.
bad. Instead of one long strip, though, this is just going to have to be it for right here.
Yeah. Well, this is Plan B. Well, technically
Yeah.
Plan C.
This will be all right. We should be
Yeah.
able to get everything we need planted. Now, the only thing that's weird with this thing is you can see.
Get out of there.
You can see how it kind of piled all the dirt up there.
Yeah. Rake it around.
Well, over here, there's not much. I'm not raking anything. I got a tractor. I'm going to take that bucket and scoop it and drag some of it back this way.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, with this hand, forget it. I got a bucket. I'll just go in there, tilt it forward, drag it back. But I think this will work. That thing works pretty good.
Yeah. Until it hits tree roots. But
Yeah, but I
we
mean,
gotta-
it is what it is. I mean, it takes a lot to beat these things up, you know. I mean, that thing did work pretty good for this little section. Now, when we go do our regular garden, there's no tree roots or anything in there. So I've tilled that a bunch of times before, but
yeah.
this spot we've never done. So
Right in front of the, we have a chicken coop right there, kind of.
yeah, this is not
And,
where we originally wanted to do this. We were going to do it on the other side of that
we're
fence.
Doing it here. I'll do it.
Yeah, but there's not enough sun over
We're
there.
gonna do it over here because we're gonna extend our garden,
What's happening, man?
and so we're gonna do it over here. But there's not a whole lot of
over
shade,
here.
so we had to
The
come
sun
over here.
in the shade all day.
Tell our neighbors. Oh look, the chickens already showed
Now
up.
you guys are home. I'm going to stop by in a little bit and
Fresh
bring
dirt.
that vacuum cleaner back.
More worms.
Twin went and bought one.
Now it's a party.
All right, we're going to get this thing done over here. All right, well, all in all, for the small patch that we did till, this thing does work pretty good. I would highly recommend getting one. That way you're not fighting with a hand tiller. You know, I just had surgery on my elbow, my hand, and all that stuff, but This thing worked good on that little spot we did. There was a few tree roots in there, which really isn't a huge deal, but it'll be interesting to see when we do the 2 big gardens to see how it does. Those should be easier. There's no tree roots or major rocks or anything. They've been tilled a bunch of times before, but if you have the means, I highly recommend getting one of these. It makes life way easier. So until then, we will see you on the next video.